Okay. Good morning. My name is Jack Sullivan, and I'm here to talk to you about perseverance. Thanks. I'm new at this, so give me a break. When I was little, I loved to read books. My favorites were ones about action and adventure, and I would read about heroes with amazing gifts, doing incredibly brave things. I like to compare myself to them and think I was as brave as they were. While I couldn't show bravery by beating buildings and swinging through trees, I realized now that there was a way I could show it. I've always had trouble speaking. Words that came naturally and smoothly to other people came out jarred and scratched for me. This was because as a child, my parents taught me 2 languages at once, and I was able to learn them, but I became confused. When people talked to me, I wouldn't know what language to respond in, so I just didn't talk. I had to have my little sister talk for me when I needed help talking to someone. I owe her so much because of that. When I finally did start to talk, I wasn't sure how. I hadn't talked for so long that I had lost some of my learning. My mom always said that when I was 5, I read like I was 8 and talked like I was 3. Reading was a way to escape my painful reality, but eventually, you always have to wake up. I was lucky in elementary school because kids of that age have a natural kindness and willingness to see past differences. So I was happy until middle school started. I suddenly realized that I was in a whole new world where things like what I did weren't tolerated anymore. I was picked on, ostracized, criticized, in a word, bullied. I hated middle school. I want nothing more every day than to just go home and get away from all the teasing and the jabbing. The only thing I really enjoyed were my classes, where I could just focus on learning and where I wasn't teased. I didn't know why for a while, why they did it, why they were so cruel. I finally realized why in the 8th grade. I lived in a small town, and there was a certain order, a certain person you just had to be, otherwise you weren't accepted. I wasn't that person. My parents had no idea, and I never told them. Every day, when they asked me how school was, I would just say fine. After 3 years of just fine, my parents finally suspected something and confronted me. I broke down and told them everything. They were shocked. I've never seen them look so horrified. My sister always told me that I always see the best in people. It was a gift and a curse. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, "A man can't ride your back unless it's bent." My back was bent. And this gift I had, it cursed me because very people who were bullying me, I tried to befriend. They rejected me every time, but I never stopped trying. So one day, when talking to their friends, my parents heard about St. Johnsbury Academy. They said it was a diverse school with lots of people, but it was very accepting and warm and perfect for kids like me. I didn't believe them at first. I couldn't, but I stuck with my old roots. But after a while of talking, they convinced me to come shadow. I shadowed Gunny Sawa and just want to say, thanks, Gunny. I was so shocked by the amount of people, the different languages, the huge and beautiful buildings. I thought only colleges looked like that. I was instantly in love with it and wanted to come immediately. So I came my first year as a dorm student, living in the barn, and I'll admit, it was far from easy. It was actually really hard, from the new and intense sports to the academic programs. I was afraid. I was worried if I wasn't smart enough or strong enough, and my first year I barely scraped by. So I decided to do something about it. I worked out, I studied, I had to perfect my body and my mind. The next year, I managed to crawl back from the bottom and make the JVA soccer team, and do even harder academic programs. This all goes back to what I said in the beginning, being brave. You can be brave by following your heart, by not letting others tell you can't do something. You can be brave by leaving that place that shuns you and humiliates you, and go to a place that welcomes you and inspires you. Nelson Mandela once said, "I learned that courage was not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear." My message is simple. In life, be brave. Have perseverance. You'll find these things can drive you to do great things. It will make you stronger. Be brave and never let anybody stop you. Thank you.